So there's a book called by Franz Johansson called the Medici Effect. Would really recommend that book to you guys. Have any of you guys ever heard of Medici from the Renaissance period? Who has? Carrie? Who is Medici?
The Medici family. I actually grew up in a Greece.
Oh.
The Medici family they were great patrons of the arts and politics.
Exactly. So the Medici family were one of the, as I've heard it be said, is they're one of the godfather families of the Renaissance period. And what they did that was so fantastic to really spur on the Renaissance period is that they brought people from all different genres and all different types of specialties together. So imagine you've got an artist, a scientist, an architect, and a sculptor all in the same room. Some pretty cool things can happen, right? Because now the sculptor can talk to the artist about shape and form and realism and you know the things that they do with stone to make sure it looks real and all of that. The scientist and the architect can talk about how to make the strongest foundational things, because now you can get into physics and get into all the other things. And all of these conversations can really start changing the way that they do things. So where ideas can come from a lot of times is at the intersection of two different things. Where have you guys seen this? Where have you seen real innovation and cool ideas come out of kind of two different things in two different places?
All the things that grew out of the space program, like Corningware and Velcro, and things that have nothing to do with getting us to the moon or beyond.
Yeah.
Happy byproducts.
Absolutely. Go ahead and find a seat. What else?
iPhone.
I was about to say, is anybody?
Yeah.
What do you say? Do you think they're the intersection of?
It's an intersection between design and technology.
Absolutely.
What version?
Design and technology for Apple. That's
Where's my ball?
And so where these things all come together is you need to be continually adding to your knowledge base. You need to be continually talking to people that have different perspectives. You need to be talking with people that maybe look at the world a little different than you do. Because once again, it's not necessarily what the world is, but it's your perception of the world through your lens. Other people look at things completely different. So the more people you can talk to, the more things that you can learn, the bigger your foundation of education is going to be, the more potential intersections you can have. So in our business, we've really applied this quite a few times. One of the ways we really revamped our workflow of the way we build websites. And so we took a lot from Toyota's lean manufacturing. So you would look at a car company and in website development, you wouldn't necessarily see the connection. But what we were able to do is kind of make the intersection and pull out, if we did this, but like that, we could completely change the way we did it. And so we took a lot of inspiration from the way that Toyota does their manufacturing and applied that into website development. And we were able to take small batch theory and make the way that we present logo designs to our clients much more efficient. And so when it comes to trying to come up with new ideas, this is a really easy way to do that, is trying to see where you can see different intersections. So I want to show you an example of another way that we did it at our company and how it worked. And so the screen going down is like our drum roll. So what we did was we started building kind of what we call the Medici mind map. And so this is an exercise that I think would be really beneficial for you guys to try when you're trying to come up with an innovative solution. And so what we did was we looked at GoBrainGo and then started trying to describe all the things that we did, all the things that describe us, anything that we could have that went with it. And so, and we'll get to the one on the right here. So it ended up being over 50 things that so 50 potential intersections that we came up with. And then the one that we really explored then, first and foremost, was design. And so when you start to think about design, there's lots of types of design. Industrial, building, mechanical, art, and on all the sorts. What was funny is, so industrial, retail, and then there's lots of different types of things. So the one that we ended up expanding on the most came out of the industrial, retail, and product, fashion, and store. So which one do you think of those things do you think we expanded on? Brand? Not right, but you get a ball anyway. Product?
Industrial.
So, I'll end the suspense. Ironically, it was fashion. And in a way that we really didn't see coming. So when we started doing research in fashion, there's 3 types of fashion design. There's what's called haute couture, or haute couture, so that's high fashion, high design. So these are the the pieces that are made for like one-off people that are custom made and everything. So you're talking $10,000 for a t-shirt. You've got mass market, so that's what you see on the shelves of Walmart and Target and all the things that are mass produced. That are the fashions that came out of the haute couture 3-4 years ago. Then you have in the middle, it's called pret-a-porter, and it's called ready to wear. And so that's kind of the kind of in between. Is these are the fashions of the haute couture, but they're machine made and made for there's small, medium, large, and extra large. So there's sizes, and so they're not customized and custom tailored to the specific consumer. So out of those 3, which do you think fits GoBrainGo? Who hasn't got one that said that? You got one. So right, so it was the ready to wear. And so what we took away from it, so that's kind of the description of it, is we're trying to revamp the way that we build websites now. And so what pret-a-porter does is it waits for the fashions to be established by the haute couture, and then takes those fashions and kind of mass produces them. So they have a framework, they have a template, and they can build it at a much lower price. So now you can see where I was kind of starting to get pretty excited about this, because that's essentially our same business model. So what we're going with, what we're trying to do now is develop our own fashion line, but fashion line in a different way. Fashion lines of websites. And so there's what our goal is to do is to kind of build a couple different fashion lines and roll them out. So in pret-a-porter, they do a spring show and a fall show. So they've got kind of 2 lines for each year. So our goal then is to have kind of 3 structured templates that we can, or frameworks that we can build from for each of our clients. So one is kind of a base model, one is kind of a middle of the road, and then one is more really kind of more custom, more forward-leaning. So what this allows us to do is look where the trends are going, both from design and from development, and really focus in on where will our clients want to be in 6 months or a year from now, and really focus on those trends as opposed to being, so we can be proactive instead of being reactive and just doing what they tell us to do. And so what we're working on right now is our first fashion line that we're going to hopefully roll out this in the next quarter. But this is the type of thing that is easy for you guys to do when you're looking to come up with solutions to a problem or come up with new ideas.